Hello and welcome to your Unit 3 review video. In this unit you were introduced to quadratic relations, and there are just a few skills that you need to remember from this unit for the exam and the summative. The first thing is determine if this table forms a linear or quadratic relationship or neither. So what you have to do is calculate first and second differences. So to calculate the first differences, what you want to remember is you start at the bottom and you take y2 and subtract y1. So it's 25 minus 15, not 15 minus 25. So 25 minus 15 is 10. 15 minus 9 is 6. 9 minus 7 is 2. So because the first differences are not equal, that means the relationship is not linear. Doesn't mean that it's quadratic, but if they're not equal, it means it's not linear. So let's calculate the second differences. The second differences are the differences of the first differences. That's a lot of differences. So again, start at the bottom. 10 minus 6 is 4. 6 minus 2 is 4. And now, because the second differences are equal, that means that it is a quadratic relationship. Question 2 dealt with exponents that were either 0 or negative. When you have a negative exponent, what you want to remember is that the negative exponent will take the base and take the reciprocal of it. So instead of 3, the base is now 1/3, and it makes the exponent now positive. So when you have a negative exponent, you flip the base upside down and change the exponent to a positive. So then both the numerator and the denominator get the exponent. So 1 to the exponent 4 is 1, and 3 to the exponent 4 is 81. For example B, doesn't matter what the base is, if the exponent is 0, it is equal to 1. So anything, the base is irrelevant as long as it's not 0. If the exponent is 0, then it's equal to 1. Last question, back to a negative exponent. Remember that a negative exponent means to take the reciprocal of the base. So instead of the base being 2 over 3, it's now 3 over 2. And the exponent will change to a positive. So 3 to the exponent 3 is 27. 2 to the exponent 3 is 8. So for the exam and summative, please make sure that you remember how to calculate powers with negative exponents and 0 exponents. The last thing that you have to be able to do is to FOIL or expand and simplify. So here's a question where you just have two binomials multiplied with each other. So to FOIL means to take the first terms in each bracket and multiply them. So 2x times 3x is 6x squared. The O part of FOIL means to multiply the outside terms. 2x times negative 2 is negative 4x. The I part of FOIL means to multiply the inside terms. So 5 times 3x is 15x. And the L part of FOIL means to multiply the last terms together. 5 times negative 2 is negative 10. So what you're doing is you're taking each term in the first bracket and multiplying it by each term in the second bracket. When you collect like terms at the end, negative 4x plus 15x is 11x. There's no more like terms, so you are done. For example B, When you have a binomial squared, what you want to remember is anything squared means you multiply it by itself. So x minus 2 squared means you're just going to multiply x minus 2 by itself. So the first thing that you do when you get a question like this where there's two sets of foiling is you do each foiling part first. So in the first half of the question, leave the 3 for now and FOIL these brackets. So x times x is x squared. X times 2 is 2x. 3 times x is 3x. 3 times 2 is 6. In the second part of the question, just leave the negative for now and FOIL these two brackets. X times x is x squared. X times negative 2 is negative 2x. Negative 2 times x is negative 2x. Negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4. At this point in time, it is up to you whether you want to collect like terms before you do the distributive law. Some people will like to do that. So collect like terms in the first bracket. Collect like terms in the second bracket. This step is optional. Some people just prefer to collect all the like terms at the end. Last thing you do is now use the distributive property on each half. So 3 times x squared is 3x squared. 3 times 5x is 15x. 3 times 6 is 18. Second half, this is a negative, which is like a negative 1 being multiplied with each of these. Negative 1 times x squared is negative x squared. Negative 1 times negative 4x is positive 4x. Negative 1 times positive 4 is negative 4. Please remember, when you FOIL these brackets, you've got to keep them in brackets here and then distribute it with a negative afterwards. Last step, collect all like terms. 3x squared minus x squared is 2x squared. 15x plus 4x is 19x. And 18 minus 4 is 14. So that's what you want to remember from Unit 3. If there's anything you didn't understand, please make note of it and ask your teacher during the next class. Thank you.